The topic of this video is identifying the least common denominator of two or more rational expressions. Let's look at a problem. Find the LCD of the rational expressions in the list. Express your answer in factored form. LCD is least common denominator. Okay, so we're going to go through the steps. Step 1 says to factor all of the denominators. We ignore the numerators in this step. So for our first fraction, 5 over x, there's nothing we can do to factor x. It's just an x. For our second, the GCF is x, and when we take it out, we're left with x plus 1. For our third, the GCF is x squared, and when we take it out, we're left with x minus 1. All right, now we move on to the next step. Pretend you are this fraction, and look at the denominators of the other fractions and ask yourself, what factors do they have in their denominators that you wish you had in your denominator? So the first thing we might notice here is the second fraction has an x plus 1, but the first fraction is missing. So we'll put an x plus 1 in the bottom, and to keep the fraction equal, an x plus 1 in the top. Now, as we turn our attention to this next piece, this is where we have to be very careful, because students often make a mistake here. When you look at this particular denominator, you see an x squared, and you might think to yourself, I have an x, I don't have an x squared, so I want to get myself an x squared. But that would not be finding the least common denominator. This first fraction already has an x. In order to look like this fraction at the end, it only needs one more x to multiply with this one to turn this x into an x squared. Therefore, we do not multiply x squared top and bottom. We only multiply x top and bottom, because this will make sure that this x times this x is equal to this x squared. Continuing on, we are also missing this x minus 1, which we will put top and bottom. Okay, now we're going to pretend that we are the middle fraction. So what is the middle fraction missing when compared to the other two? Well, this middle fraction has one x, but the other two fractions have 2, whether you write it as x times x or as x squared. Therefore, we need a times x times x. This middle fraction is also missing the x minus 1 that the other two have, and so we write times x minus 1 top and bottom. We now move to our third fraction. Our third fraction has an x squared. Notice that the second has 2 x's and the first has 2 x's. An x minus 1, which the second and first fraction already have. However, the third fraction is missing the x plus 1 that the other two fractions have. So we multiply by an x plus 1 on the bottom and an x plus 1 on the top. Now all fractions have the same denominator, an x, a second x, an x plus 1, and an x minus 1. An x, a second x, an x plus 1, and an x minus 1. So our least common denominator is equal to x squared times an x plus 1 times an x minus 1.